Starting out in a wheelchair, I worked hard until I was able to run. Going from not being able to pull myself onto the bed to doing chin-ups was a sign of my improvement. Going from sitting all day to doing 100 push-ups regularly served to show that I was reaching the end of the tunnel. Even though the road ahead seemed long and sometimes boring, my previous progress gave me courage to keep going. What would this week bring? This week was the last week I would be going to the physical therapist 2 times a week. After this, it would only be 1 time a week. As I was thinking about my progress so far, I realized just how far I had come and how this journey had affected me emotionally. When I first got sick, I was sure it would only last a couple of weeks. But as that turned into months and then years with no end in sight, as I've already told you before, started to become depressed. I felt like I was just watching life pass me by on the other side of a glass window, but I couldn't reach through and interact with it. As others of my age group were physically active and enjoying their teenage years, I was stuck sitting or barely walking, with most of my excitement coming from reading or the internet. As this continued and we found out what was wrong with me, I felt a jolt of joy that I had forgotten I could feel, growing with the hope that I would soon be better. But as the progress of recovery was taking time and it didn't seem like I was progressing, those feelings came back even stronger. I felt like I was drowning in the darkness of sadness and depression. It felt like there was no light. But with the advent of physical therapy, my feelings started to lighten, and I once again was beginning to feel happy as I pondered what the future held for me. And this week in particular, I was excited to see how much further on my journey I would go. The first day of this week, I was pretty tired, so I just did the plank instead of the push-ups. I managed to hold the plank for 1 minute and 40 seconds, which, while not bad, wasn't good either. With a new perspective on what I had gone through, this semi-underwhelming performance didn't make me feel down at all, just hopeful to see where I could go from here. The next day I did the push-ups I had been too tired to do the day before, and I was able to do them all, with the first 30 and last 15 being of a better form, while the others I had to revert to my old form. After this, I felt pleased with myself on account of the way my body was feeling. The next day at physical therapy, I started with the chin-ups. I was only able to do 6 for this first set, but I was still feeling alright, so I didn't pay too much attention to that. The next thing was a leg press machine, and it went well. I then moved on to the walking exercises, of which I did a new one. Instead of trying to explain what I did, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. After that was finished, I threw the medicine ball at the trampoline, and I did it in several different positions like the past few times I had done it. After that, I went and did a hamstring stretch, but unlike what would usually happen, the therapist wasn't the one stretching me. I had to do it on my own, as you can see. I also did another one as well that you can see. Then I did the calf stretches. After that, I ran on the treadmill, and that went extremely well. I was moving the best I had moved in a long time, and once I finished, I felt amazing. I realized that this was probably due to when I did the leg press machine, I had gone deeper than before, in the squat. After that, instead of doing the normal chin-ups, I did negative chin-ups, which is where you jump up and slowly let yourself back down. This continued for a while until I had done 6, but that was my limit. This concluded this physical therapy session. and I was happy as I left. The next day I did the plank and held it for about 1 minute and 10 seconds. The day after, I did the push-ups and they weren't at all too difficult to pull off. After that, the last day of physical therapy came, and I started with the chin-ups. I did 6 of them at this time, then moved on to the walking exercises, with another new one added to the mix, which you can see right now. Then we did the leg press machine, which went well. I went deeper on the machine this time again, which in turn loosened me up considerably. After that, I threw the ball at the trampoline and added a new wrinkle into it. After that, I jogged on the normal ground, and as I did so, I felt like my knee was being placed under a lot of stress. It was actually kind of hurting a little bit. When I told the therapist this, and added that I thought it was because I wasn't landing properly, she then had me do step downs to try to strengthen my leg and improve my running stride. In lieu of this as well, she had me do this exercise with the resistance band that you can see. I then stood against the wall and straightened my back as much as I could, holding it for 10 seconds at a time. I then did the stretches that I had done the last time and moved on to the treadmill. This time though, instead of running, I simply did the 6-minute walk test to see how far I could go in 6 minutes. The reason for this is because I was very tired by this point of the therapy. The last time I did this, I made it to 0.36 miles, and so I was hoping for some sort of improvement, but alas, I was only able to go the same 0.36 miles in that time frame. Oh well, I thought, and even though I knew what I had come through, and that I shouldn't get discouraged, I still couldn't shake my disappointment. Before I left, I did a last set of chin-ups, and I made it to 6 again, which brought my total to 12. This wasn't all that bad, but I was still disappointed. And as I left, I looked forward to the rest of my journey from arthritic to athletic. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, share it so others can enjoy this series. Talk to y'all later. Bye.